Okay. It says I'm connected. I don't see my face. There we go. All right. So, God, this is a pain in the butt. I wonder if there's a major number of people streaming right now. So I'm gonna give people a chance to find this. I'm gonna eventually here. Let me link it in the old chat. Okay, let's do that. And I gotta get. God, this is a mess. Holy shit! Let's do this. We're gonna get rid of this this one here. Oh, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, there's only one. Okay, is everyone coming back? Once more with feeling. Yeah, definitely. Third time's a charm. Yeah, this is I don't know what the hell is going on. Really need to figure it out though, because it's really driving me insane. So we'll just give people a couple minutes to come get back into the chat. There is tons of stuff happening right now. They are mad. Oh boy. They are mad. Raise your hand if you agree Eileen Cannon should be expelled. I'm just gonna follow the Twitter feed today. This is insane. This thing's going on. So this is one of these Democrat shows. Raise your hand if you agree Eileen Cannon should be expelled from the bench and Jack Smith should immediately appeal to the 11th Circuit. Jack Smith can kiss my ass. He's not legally appointed. And so why would he be? Who does he? First of all, the problem with Jack Smith's appointment, there is no law to appoint a special counsel. There was back when Robert Mueller was, they were nominated and approved by the president. Jack Smith was appointed just by Merrick Garland himself. No Senate approval, no presidential sign-off, nothing. And then also the idea that he is an independent counsel, well, that's creating a brand new office in the United States that's not in the Constitution. It's not you can't have someone extra constitutional office that has more power than the executive branch or the Justice Department. And if he is part of the Justice Department, he was not properly appointed. Either way, it's a mess. So here, let me pop out a chat here too, so I can keep up with you guys, because again, it's kind of a mess today, and hopefully this stream will last. I don't know if I start talking about, if I mention the Charlie Indigo Alpha, that could be a problem today. Who knows if that will be the problem today? I don't know. I can't say. Let's see how it goes. Jesse's back. Goodness, Jesse Leon is in the house. Looks like a lot of you are back. 25 of you are here. Hit the like button on this one, because I didn't get a chance to ask on the last one. Also, my alerts are messed up. I know. Selected boys in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
So, anyway. So, the plan today is, this is going to be a very loose version of the show. Uh-oh, now my computer's freezing. That's not good. All right, we're just going to scroll through Twitter and see what people are saying. I'll try to avoid boobs and butts and that kind of stuff. So as we know, the Judge Cannon dismissed the docs case. And look, there are a lot of problems. El Gringo's in the house. What's up? There's other problems with the docs case. Good morning, Renee Mayette. I see you. One of them was the fact that the FBI and the people who raided Mar-a-Lago did not keep the evidence intact. They changed the evidence. They added a bunch of cover sheets, and they didn't keep the things in the order, in the boxes that they were in. So there was no way to, assess how the things were put there or what or not. It took away the defendant's ability to make a defense that, maybe some of these things were declassified or whatever. They didn't keep it in the right order. So these people are hopping mad, but let's just scroll down. I just want to see, we're just going to talk about whatever's on X today. Like I said, I have multiple articles on the attempt on the president over the weekend. For example, this one in Daily Wire, eyewitnesses say he and others tried to alert law enforcement. I'm sure you already all know this, but if you want to read about it, I have the articles here. MRC TV. And then also the reactions among the left media were classic. Dolomite, what's up? YouTube police working hard to regulating comments and videos on Trump situation. Yeah, I haven't put any video up. That's the thing. I'm not going to. I didn't put any pictures up. But they're doing some crazy stuff already, and hopefully that's not why my stream died because of Streamlabs. My Streamlabs froze. So anyway, Colorado Congressman Stephen Woodrow. Last thing America needed was sympathy for the devil, but here we are. That's a brilliant thing to say after the former guy, the guy with the funny hair, had some projectiles lobbed at him with propulsion. I got to be careful how I say it. By the way, the man who got shot at the rally and died has been hailed as a hero. It was supposed to be a fun day, at a Trump rally for Corey Comperator and his family. Instead, it ended up a tragedy when he was struck and killed by a projectile with propulsion by a pew pew man attempting to end the guy with the funny hair. Check out my euphemisms. His family members were quick to comment on how amazing a person he was with his sister Dawn stating this on Facebook post. He was a hero that shielded his daughters, his wife, and girls just lived through the unthinkable and unimaginable. My baby brother just turned 50 and he had so much life left to experience. So rest in peace, Corey Comperator, but you can read about that too. Let's flip through these articles. Then I'm going to go into X. This is funny because, not funny. This is, the theme today is, now you want to talk about, why is the Friday free-for-all up there? What the hell? What the hell happened here? Okay, for some reason, the thumbnail is incorrect, so we'll fix that. Let's see. Gosh, this is gonna be one of those days. I'll tell you, it's between my Streamlabs getting nuked and having to redo everything, and now we're up here doing this stuff. There we go. Oh, now you want to talk about heated rhetoric. So back to some of the heated rhetoric, just reminders of things that people have said. For example, Joseph Rahim Biden just before this attempt, he threatened that Trump would become a dictator. Joe Biden has issued now again, and it's funny because they keep taking this dictator comment, this tongue-in-cheek dictator comment, and acting like it was real. So he just tweeted that day, Trump has said if he wins, he'll be dictator on day one. And folks, he means it. Just look at his right-wing Project 2025, the blueprint for the second Trump term. I will not let that happen. Well, first of all, Project 2025 is not Donald Trump's platform. They keep lying about that. That's their boogeyman right now. And they got a lot of brothers and sisters helping them spread that bullshit. And again, he reiterated in the subsequent post, America wants a president, not a dictator. On July 5th, he claimed Trump really could become a dictator thanks to the Supreme Court ruling in his favor on the presidential immunity, and issued a similar statement on July 4th telling the public, ask yourself what will happen next. So, the idea that these people want to talk about other people's rhetoric is very comical. Oh, I didn't move that in. What is going on here? Let's fix that. This should be down here, and we're going to expand it. I'll be fixing all the alert boxes later. Let's see. Let me redo that. There we go. We'll move it down. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Number Trace in the tip jar. That makes you the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. I don't even have that up there anymore. Avocados Diablo says, also remember when last week Biden said he would have a major announcement on Sunday, probably a coincidence, but it is fodder for conspiracy theories now. Oh, yeah, the conspiracy theories are flying around. There's people saying, oh, this was a staged attempt. It was fake. There's people saying that, Biden himself might have done it, which he didn't. I'm not saying he did YouTube. I'm just telling what people are saying. Now, this is interesting because some people, one of the big themes when I opened X yesterday, when I heard about this, was that, oh, this is a registered Republican. Well, this is Daniel Greenfield in Front Page saying leftist assassins targeted House Republicans, a conservative justice, and now a president. Now, we don't know a lot about this kid yet. And I say kid because he was like 20 something. Donald Trump is a genuine threat to our nation. Joe Biden tweeted, he's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for. Yeah, that's what Biden's statement. Yesterday, he declared, more importantly, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Trump is a threat to this nation. Gee, but sounds like some asshole wanted to eliminate Joe Biden's threat. Now, this kind of rhetoric depicting Trump as the ultimate threat had become normalized. Is it any wonder it was also acted on? There's a pattern here. And they go through Bernie Sanders' supporter going after the congressional baseball thing, Judge Kavanaugh's assassination plot, and so on and so forth. And it's funny because the media will still tell you, and the FBI, who, they're what do you call that? They're the shills for the establishment, will tell you, well, the biggest threat to America is right-wing extremism. Except all the actual major incidents, funny how they always come from left-leaning people for the most part. Now, but when it is few and far between someone who could be considered on the right, oh my God, that name for years and years and years, and they'll repeat them over and over. But it's funny, we still don't know what the Las Vegas shooter was all about, do we? We still don't know anything about the kid who did Virginia Tech, other than he was a kid and he had handguns, so they didn't talk about the AR-15s in that one. And it's just amazing how all these, all the transgender, whatever, queer, whatever shooters that have been popping up lately, we never hear about their politics. We don't hear them being left-wing extremists. But, oh, my God, if they even have a hint of right, like this guy, he registered as a Republican in Pennsylvania, right? Oh, remember when the Democrats were encouraging Democrats to register as Republicans so they could vote in the primary to get rid of Trump in Pennsylvania? You remember that? That couldn't be happening here. Anyway, now even the media is warning that the real threat will come from a conservative reaction to the attempted ending of Donald John Trump, a.k.a. Republicans will pounce. Hello, Kara Soldier, by the way. So anyway, but the actual violence is coming from the left, and the cover-up of that violence and the criminalization of conservatives is also coming from the left. The left pulls the trigger and blames those who are shot for the violence. So yeah, that's true. They do that all the time. In Breitbart, 9 Years of Hate, Lincoln Project's Rick Wilson. Remember when Rick Wilson said those words on the screen that I'm not going to read out loud because you know how YouTube is. But yeah, that was in 2015, and believe me, that clip has been played more than once. And it's funny because the Lincoln Project put out a post, aka formerly known as a tweet on X. Political violence has no place in American life. Well, I could have sworn Rick Wilson was one of the founders of the Lincoln Project. And he's the one who said that, put a pew-pew projectile in the guy with the funny hair. That's what he said. And literally, he said that. What did he say? The donor class must blank put a pew-pew projectile into the guy with the funny hair. I am paraphrasing that phrase. So, shut the fuck up, Lincoln Project. Daily Wire. What is going on here? Why isn't this not refreshing? Refresh, motherfucker. Oh, and then now Biden, Pelosi, media, Democrat donors made extreme march targeting Donald Trump in recent days. So here's some of the things they've said in recent days. Where is it? Oh, should we watch the videos on these? Why not? All right, so let's see. Top figures on the political left used extremist language in the last week against former President Donald Trump, including language that many critics said could be construed as incitement after a man pew-pewed Trump during a campaign rally on Saturday in what federal law enforcement officials have officially labeled as an ending attempt, a political ending attempt. So they brought up Madonna and her. Gosh, how do you do this? You know what I mean? When you explode something and the house happens to be white. Remember when she said that? And Kathy Griffith with the decapitated piece of rubber mask face that looked like the guy with the funny hair. Yes. But here's some recent things here's some recent incendiary rhetoric from some of these shitbags, aka Democrats.
At this point, there's no one who knows the donor community better than you. You're the best. You're a legendary fundraiser.
Legendary.
There's no one who knows the convention rules better than you. So I'm going to ask you, what are you hearing?
What are you hearing?
From your large network of people.
What are you hearing, Nance?
About whether he is up to it.
Oh, he's talking about Joe Biden.
I hear mixed. Some people are saying because Donald Trump is such an authoritarian.
Oh, an authoritarian.
We have to win this election. This is not
we can't have that.
Where you want to win. If you don't, you cooperate and do the best you can for the country and hope to win the next time. This is something that is undermining our democracy, and he must be stopped.
And can I get them scotch, please?
President. So, therefore, people are very concerned.
Whoa. Did you hear that? I'm going to repeat this. Did you hear this?
And hope to win the next time. This is something that is undermining our democracy.
Oh, my gosh. Undermining our democracy. It must be stopped. Whew. Man. That's almost as bad as bloodbath, isn't it now?
Cannot be president. So therefore people are very concerned.
Oh,
so
very
it's
concerned.
Split. Some are like, well, how can we subject the process to what might be possible? And others are Joe's
okay,
our guy.
Enough. Shut up! Also recently, Joy Reid, the one who often wears Trump's hair on her head, had this to say.
And then let me know who I got to vote for to keep Hitler out the White House. That's it. I'm done. Oh, and by the way, if it's Biden in a coma, I'm going to vote for Biden in a coma. I don't even really particularly like the guy.
Where's your Trump hair?
His policy, don't like him. He's not Donald Trump, right? Yeah. Hitler, White House. We keeping him out.
Got to keep Hitler out. We got to keep Hitler out. What did it say? Reid Hoffman got the Reid Hoffmans of the world. Reid Hoffman's the one who funds all these lawsuits against Trump. The Reid Hoffmans of the world got their dearest wish, but then the martyr lived. Theo Hoffman face off in Sun Valley. What is this? Hang on, let's open this up. Let's open up this post here. So this is the book. Let's see. News and notes from inside the lodge, where former classmates Reid Hoffman and Peter Thiel had a very public quarrel. Zasloff revealed his 24 agenda, and masters of the universe debated the fate of Joe Biden. So let's see. Let's look at here's the point he highlighted here. Then, in what one source described as, quote, the dagger, end quote, and another as a, quote, twist of the night, end quote, Thiel sarcastically thanked Hoffman for funding lawsuits against Trump because they had turned him into, quote, a martyr, end quote, thereby increasing his chances of re-election. Quote, I am so grateful to you, Thiel said. From the stage, Hoffman shot back with his own sarcastic quip, quote, yeah, I wish I had made him an actual martyr, end quote. Ha! Whatever could that mean? Whatever could that mean? Is that a coded message, Mr. Hoffman? Mr. Hoffman, is that what's known as a coded message? I am curious and curiouser. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, dropping another tray in the tip jar, saying, I remind the left of a little thing they used to never shut up about. Stochastic terrorism. Oh my God, you are so correct. That's Major Bellworthy. I don't much believe in the concept, but they used to guess it. But they used to guess it is no longer advantageous for them now. Yeah. Oh gosh. Let me just. I'm gonna tweet snipe you here. I don't know if you even tweet, but here we go. So, what was that about stochastic? Am I spelling this right? Stochastic terrorism. So what was that about stochastic terrorism you were saying? There we go. That's the tweet. So what was that about stochastic terrorism you were saying? Thank you, Avocados Diablo. That's worth that. That should get a few retweets. I'm serious. So thank you. All right. So anyway, so the suspect, identified by the FBI as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was shot and killed after he fired multiple rounds at Trump, one of which was inches from being potentially a fatal hit. At least one Trump supporter in the crowd was ended, and 2 more were seriously injured during the attack. The shots rang out. Okay, we already know that. I want to know about this moron that did this, but they're not going to. I don't know if we're going to get full information about it. We're going to get what the media wants to tell us. Like I said, when I opened up X yesterday, the number one trending topic was registered Republican. And so I knew that was, and they're still, that's the big thing. They're all saying, oh, he was Republican. Well, you know who else is a Republican? This dickhead right here. That's me. This dickhead. That one. I can't point at myself. Rick Wilson. He is. Did I just call myself a dickhead? Anyway, well, Biden accept blame for the assassination. This is an Issues and Insights interesting article. Oh, here's 2.5. Oh, and remember, we talked about this, how Democrats love them some political violence when it's directed at someone else. Here is a straight, how long is this? 2.5 minutes. Here's 2.5 minutes of Democrats.
Why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Yes.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite.
In the United States Constitution.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low,
she said feckless cunt.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
Biggest terror threat in this.
Oh, geez, this is stochastic terrorism.
Most of them radicalized.
This is stochastic terrorism.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
Would you?
I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
I'm very disappointed in Johnny Depp. There it is. There it is. Rick Wilson. And then, of course, the pretending of that.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
And then remember they put him in that kind of the Julius Caesar parody, and they, get stabbed. There's, she is smoking hot, isn't she? Okay, don't throw up now.
I have thought an awful lot.
about blowing up the White
Wow,
House.
stochastic
A Missouri
terrorism.
state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out.
Anybody.
All right, enough. I'll leave the link, but you get the picture. We've seen this multiple times. Over in the Daily Caller, photographer appears to have captured images of the bullet whipping by Trump's head. This picture, if you look closely, let's see if I can, we'll blow this one up. See, maybe you can kind of see it. They say that this is showing, there's a little streak here of the bullet going by. Who knows if that's really the bullet going by, but that's interesting. So that'll be in the links today. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Another Trey in the tip jar who says, for fuck's sakes, he was 20 years old. Do they think he had ever voted once? And I could register as a Dem in 5 minutes. It means nothing. Well, I know. And he's in Pennsylvania where the Democrats were telling people to vote in the Republican primary to try to get rid of Trump there. He probably voted for Nikki Haley. Did he vote for Trump, or was he a Lincoln Project Republican? Because those guys are Republicans too, right? Or was he a Mitt Romney Republican? Well, Mitt Romney's too much of a pussy to do violence. But anyway. All right, illegal insurrection. Trump says, we will fear not and stand united against evil. This is his post on the Truth Social, which said, thank you everyone for your thoughts and prayers yesterday. As it was God alone who prevented the unthinkable from happening, we will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness. Our love goes out to the other victims and their families. We pray for the recovery of those who were wounded and hold in our hearts the memory of the citizen who was horribly killed. In this moment, it is more important than ever that we stand united and show our true character as Americans, remaining strong and determined and not allowing evil to win. I truly love our country. I love you all and look forward to speaking to our great nation this week from Wisconsin, because the Republican National Convention starts today in Milwaukee. Melania Trump also issued a statement. Let's see what that is here. Melania Trump said in her statement, I'm thinking of you now, my fellow Americans. We have always been a unique union. America, the fabric of our gentle nation, is tattered, but our courage and common sense must ascend and bring us back together as one. When I watched that violent bullet strike my husband, Donald, I realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of devastating change. I am grateful for the brave Secret Service agents and law enforcement officials who risked their own lives to protect my husband. To the families of the innocent victims who are now suffering from the heinous act, I humbly offer you my sincerest sympathy. You need to summon your inner strength for such a terrible reason, or your need to summon your inner strength for such a terrible reason saddens me. A monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music, and inspiration. The core facets of my husband's life, his human side, were buried below the political machine. Donald, the generous and caring man who I have been with through the best times and the worst of times. Let us not forget that differing opinions, policy, and political games are inferior to love. Our personal, structural, and life commitment until death is at serious risk. Political concepts are simple when compared to us human beings. We are all human, and fundamentally, instinctively, we want to help one another. American politics are only one vehicle that can uplift our communities. Love, compassion, kindness, and empathy are necessities, and let us remember that when the time comes to look beyond the left and the right, beyond the red and the blue, we all come from families with the passion to fight for a better life together while we are here in this earthly realm. Dawn is here again. Let us reunite now. this morning ascend above the hate and vitriol and the simple-minded ideas that ignite violence. We all want a world where respect is paramount, family is first, and love transcends. We can realize this world again. Each of us must demand to get it back. We must insist that respect fills the cornerstone of our relationships again. I am thinking of you, my fellow Americans. The winds of change have arrived. For those of you who cry in support, I thank you. I commend those of you who have reached out beyond the political divide. Thank you for remembering that every single politician is a man or a woman with a loving family. So that was a very nice statement written by or for Melania Trump. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they had to sit down and figure out what they wanted to say, and I think it's a very good message. So, okay, what is this? Either recognize does not mean what you think it means, or you guys have some issues to work through. Okay, so, yeah, someone's going to say, oh, who recognized my public is an inhuman political machine. When someone says you recognize it as that, it doesn't mean that you did it correctly, okay? That's, you just, oh, God, people need to just chill the F out. So anyway, that was her statement. And let's see, we'll move on here. The pipeline, Trump, Biden, the shame of corporate media. Oh, so again, more examples of how the media have been stoking this hate. And look, here's something that really bothered me today. And let me pull this off the screen for a second. I have family members who are ardent left Democrat, whatever. And it really saddened me when I saw someone post on social media from my own family. And it's not just my own family, it's people across the nation. It was 3 words. Fuck, period. He missed, period. And I was thinking to myself when I saw that, I'm like, do you truly have that much hate in your heart? Do you truly have that much hate in your heart? Because to say something like that, look, I get it. You don't want Donald Trump to be president. And in fact, you genuinely hate Donald Trump because of the things you see on TV and on the internet and the things he says. Okay? But you have that much hate that you would celebrate his murder. And and not only did he post that on social media, but lots of people replying in the affirmative, like, yeah, man, boy, too bad that missed. And I wanted to reply and get in a back and forth in this, but then I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. Not with a family member. Not with a family member. A family member who I love. But thought it was appropriate to put that on the internet. That you wish that someone you disagree with had died. Oh, there's Johnny Boomer Tech showed up. So, I just can't. So many people, look, it was all over the internet too, that people was just, gosh, damn it, they missed. Another one was like, you had one job. And, I would say the Secret Service had one job and they failed. And the head of the Secret Service should be fired. Especially when you look at the Pac-Man perimeter, which I don't know if that's really how the perimeter was supposed to be, but that's certainly, a perimeter is X number of feet, and that rooftop was in X number of feet. of where Donald Trump would be standing. And look, whether he's a foreign president or someone you don't like or what, you still have to protect him. That's still your job. Of course, they had the, and when I don't like to use the term DEI detail, but it was like all these women on the detail, like, you know, he's 6'3", and all these 5'4" foot women are in the front. Like, you know, part of the job of being a Secret Service is you would be willing to take a bullet for the person you're protecting. They weren't tall enough to do that anyway. So I don't know. But that type of rhetoric, which is all over the internet right now, is very disappointing. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, dropping another tray in the tip jar, saying, recognize was a poor word choice, seeing as how it has two meanings. She should have said identified. Well, either way, identified wouldn't have worked either. You know, if she would have said, you know, let me find this letter real quick. What would have been a better word? A monster who imagined, if she would have said imagined my husband as an inhumane political machine. She said a monster who recognized my husband as an inhumane political machine. And she clarified that, no, he's just a human being. That's what the monster saw him as. So it's not that no one else would recognize him as that, but it is a bad word choice. Thank you again, AD. Tipped another 3, said, listen, I want politicians to live in fear of being shot. Keeps them honest, not for anyone to be actually taking shots at them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't mind politicians living in fear for, you know, whatever, but I certainly don't expect anyone to attack them. I don't want anyone to physically touch them. Fear for your job. Thank you, Avocados. I'll be dropping another tray in the tip jar. Greatly appreciated. All right. Other articles that are in the links today. I was just going to go through Twitter. By the way, also, I believe someone said in the chat that the Alec Baldwin case has been dismissed also. So we'll hear more about that one tomorrow. But some of the corporate media was crazy. So almost immediately, a cry went up from within the DNC bunker that Biden had to. Oh, this is. Let's see. Let's check out this column from, what is this? The Pipeline. It's not too long. We'll go through this one, and then I'm probably going to have to get out of here. Well, not quite. Not right away. This has been just a couple terrible fortnight for the corporate media. It could not happen to a worse, more dishonest group of partisan hacks. First, their Wizard of Oz curtain got pulled back to reveal Joe Biden as a befuddled, confused, inarticulate old coot, filled with anger and rage at his predecessor and very likely successor, with Biden acting as his own little dog Toto. Nearly 4 years of deliberate concealment of evidence that the president of the United States is barely functioning rutabaga went up in smoke on CNN. This is CNN. With a horrified White House press corps unable to stop it. Almost immediately, the cry went up from within the DNC bunker that Biden had to go, a chorus to which the media enthusiastically lent its voice, especially once Moscow Central, a.k.a. the New York Times, cleared them to proceed. Never mind that in multiple primaries, Democrat voters had already selected Biden for the nomination. Who cares about your democracy when our democracy is on the line? After all, the Democratic motto is, by any means necessary. So then they have a little quote here. The clearest path for Democrats to defeat a candidate defined by his lies is to deal truthfully with the American public, acknowledge that Mr. Biden can't continue his race, and create a process to select someone more capable to stand in his place to defeat Mr. Trump in November. It is the best chance to protect the soul of the nation. Oh my gosh, that seems desperation. Did someone just take desperate measures because they read the New York Times? the cause that drew Mr. Biden to run for the presidency in 2019 from the malign warping of Mr. Trump. Oh my goodness, that's some harsh words. And it is a service that Mr. Biden can provide to a country that he has nobly served for a long time. So that was from the New York Times. Then came Saturday night. The headline is priceless. Suspect came within inches of killing Trump, but left few clues as to why. Perhaps it was all that stochastic terrorism. Quote, Sunday afternoon, crooks slipped into a rooftop location 150 yards, 140 meters from the stage where Trump was speaking in Butler, Pennsylvania. He then began firing an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle. Oh no, I didn't say that very well. Purchased by his father, authorities said. The gunfire killed a 50-year-old man, critically wounded 2 other spectators, and struck Trump's ear, an assassination attempt that was further inflamed by an already bitter U.S. political divide. Since the gunman is dead, we may never know what caused him to grab Dad's rifle and, in full view of a crowd gathered for the rally, including the Secret Service, scoped out the site, climbed onto the roof, planned his line of sight, got in position in front of hundreds or thousands of people, set up a very visible perch, waited, and then fired. Like, yeah, did you motherfuckers see this guy? Oh, wait, you did see him. You waited till he fired to do anything about it. In the aftermath, watching a group of chubby, short female Secret Service diversity hires duck and cover while Trump stood upright in the kill zone, shaking his fist and then fumbling with their weapons like Fred Corleone, failing to protect his father from assassins, crystallized in an instant in the catastrophic failure of diversity, equity, and inclusion for the whole country to see. If the female head of the Secret Service, one Kimberly Cheadle, late of the Pepsi-Cola company, had any decency, she would have resigned on the spot. That's straight up true. But the gunman's motive is entirely unclear. We have no idea. Surely it can't have anything to do with this.
Fired up in Philadelphia, President Biden took aim at what the White House calls the extreme wing of the Republican Party during a primetime speech tonight.
CBS 2's Dick Brennan here now with more on the president's remarks. Dick.
Well, Maurice and Christine, this was a scathing speech into what the president called over and over again Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans, separating them from mainstream Republicans. Mr. Biden was an independent soul. He said to argue for the soul of America, but he was also making the Democratic case for the midterm elections.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
President Biden says democracy is at risk and puts
democracy
the
is
blame
at
on the
risk.
followers of
We
former
must
President
eliminate
Trump,
this risk. Okay, you can watch that one on your own. Real quick. We have a hijacking of the show. Let me take a pause for a moment here. We're going to just take a moment. Thank you, Justin Wright, dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar. Appreciate you. A similar pick to the near miss pick from my last range day at the Guard. Oh, let's check this out. Let me see this picture. Am I going to get in trouble for this picture? Or is it just going to be, oh, no, yeah, this is pretty cool. This is a great shot, Justin. So here is, this is where they took the pick, and you can see the projectile leaving the weapon. That is a very cool pick. So there you go. Now, obviously, it's still red hot coming out because, that happens. Yeah, so very cool picks. Thank you, Justin Wright. Appreciate you. Also, AD drops another trace in the tip jar. JD or AD, aka Avocado Stialby, says, hold on. Did I hear that right? The head of the Secret Service used to work at Pepsi. Seems like an odd place to pull for that position. Yeah. What? Yes, you did hear that. And I was thinking, what the actual fuck happened there? All right, so back to this article now. Thank you again, guys. Appreciate it. Or this. This is, oh, yeah, this is, oh, wait. how long is this? Oh, that's Biden's speech. We knew the Biden, the Philadelphia speech where it looked like a freaking Nazi backdrop, but you can't say that about Biden. Hoorah, I'll tell you straight up. Or this, quote, we chose the cover image based on a well-known 1932 Hitler campaign poster for a precise reason, that anyone transported back to 1932 Germany could very, very easily have explained away Herr Hitler's excesses and been persuaded that his critics were going overboard. After all, he spent 1932 campaigning, negotiating, doing interviews, being a mostly normal politician, but he and his people vowed all along that they would use the tools of democracy to destroy it. Well, thank God we're not a democracy. That's why we are a representative republic, and it takes a lot more than that to take over our government in the way Hitler did. But anyway, he said, and it was only after he was given power that Germany saw his movement's full face. Well, that's why we have a representative republic, to avoid that kind of shit. And this is the image they put on The New Republic, a left-leaning publication, America's Fascism, with a picture of Trump with one of those little Charlie Chaplin mustaches. And the other guy with the funny mustache. Today, we at The New Republic think we can spend this election year one of two ways. We can spend it debating whether Trump meets the 9 or 17 points that define fascism, or we can spend it saying he's damn close enough and we'd better fight. One of those fighting words, fight. We unreservedly chose the latter, of course. So, unreservedly, the New Republic, and now you have to live with it. Remember when Sarah Palin ran an ad targeting vulnerable congressional seats and the left lost its collective fucking mind? Yes, but it's okay when they do it. After all, their hearts and minds are in the right place. They live in a feminized fantasy world of violence and revenge, but one in which the consequences of their words and deeds never blow back on them. When BLM burned down parts of major cities and their fascist goon squad Antifa assault at real Americans with impunity, their intentions are pure. If you disagree, they'll kill you. The reason Democrats and leftists, redundant, consistently resort to violence is one, nobody has ever said no to them, and two, they believe there's only one side to any issue, and that side is theirs. Therefore, they are entitled to do anything in pursuit of their goals, including ending people, starting with an M. Whenever the left forces through their insane social policies, such as diversity for its own sake, they expect zero consequences. Everything, including the sexes, is interchangeable. They tear down Chesterson's fence and then are surprised when bad things happen, or not, as the case may be. Since the day the first Democrat vice president and co-founder of Tammany Hall, Aaron Burr, killed one of the founding fathers, they've always been this way. Consider, between 1865 and 1901, 3 presidents were ended, all Republicans. 3 of the first 6 elected GOP presidents were ended by Southern sympathizers, are anarchists, leftists, and sexist weirdos, sexual weirdos. JFK, the lone Democrat, was shot and killed by a communist. The truth hurts. In addition, there were attempts on the life of Teddy Roosevelt, Ronald Reagan, Gerald Ford, shot at twice. Within just the past few years, Senator Rand Paul was violently assaulted. Congressman Steve Scalise was shot by Trump-hating Bernie Bro, and a leftist psycho traveled across the country to try and assassinate Justice Brett Kavanaugh. They never stop. They never sleep. They never quit. They sound like Churchill. Anyway, had enough yet? On September 10th, the Pipeline is proud to present the second series. Okay, that's them. That's them touting their own stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's exactly it. That's the ticket. So anyway, there's a bunch more articles on things happening. What we know about the Trump rally and Thomas Matthew Crooks. What do we know about Thomas Matthew Crooks? Other than the FBI has identified Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, as a subject involved in the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump on July 13 in Butler, Pennsylvania. This remains an active and ongoing investigation, and anyone with information that may assist with the investigations is encouraged to submit photos or video online at fbi.gov/Butler. Why Butler? Let's see. Special Agent Kevin Rojek, the FBI agent officer in charge, said Crooks hasn't been identified using DNA as he was not carrying any ID. When Crooks was 17, he made a $15 donation to Act Blue, a political action committee that raises money for left-leaning and Democratic politicians, according to a 2021 Federal Election Commission filing seen by Reuters. Now, how many 17-year-olds donate to political causes? That's strange. The donation was earmarked for the Progressive Turnout Project, a national group that rallies Democrats to vote. The group did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. At the time of the donation, Crooks was 17 years old. He registered to vote on turning 18 in September of that same year as a member of the GOP. Records seen by the New York Post show state voter records detail Crooks was a registered Republican. The upcoming November 5th election would have been the first time Crooks had been old enough to vote in a presidential race. So I'm guessing he might have registered to vote against Trump. I don't know. 17-year-olds can even donate? I don't even know. I didn't know they could. That's a good question. As per Lieutenant Colonel George Bevins of the Pennsylvania State Police, via NBC, addressing motives of the shooter, it's too soon to determine that. We have provisionally identified one shooter, but our investigation is ongoing. We are following multiple leads, and it will be some time before we can definitely state if it was the act of a single gunman. And then he was shot dead at the scene. Oh wow, this did not even go. So an American thinker, Scumlord made me do it. The screenshots from a strange social media world of Thomas Matthew Crooks. Yeah, they go through a lot of his social media has been deleted. And a lot of people have been putting various posts, some of him and some not of him. So take anything that you take as social media posts of this weirdo that did this shooting, take with a huge grain of salt. There's going to be a lot of information flying furiously around that you just have no idea if it's true or not. But the Daily Wire also makes the same assertion as Issues and Insight. All U.S. presidents assassinated in history were Republicans, except for JFK. JFK was killed by a communist, which we just saw that one. Let's see, refresh here. City Journal has a good article too. Questions. America will want to hear what a post-shooting investigation reveals about the would-be assassin and how he could get such a clear shot at Donald Trump. That's the part that I do not understand. Again, if you weren't here earlier, before the stream died, we had this post on X. Before blaming the Secret Service for a security failure, you need to realize that the building where the shooter was located was outside of the Pac-Man security bubble. There was nothing the U.S. Secret Service could do to stop the shooter. I'm pretty sure this is a tongue-in-cheek. Oh, no, that's what the U.S. Director of the Secret Service said. Again, here is this picture of this perimeter. It's a perimeter, except it has this weird little notch out of it. And that's the security bubble. Wow, these buildings with a clear line of sight to the stage. Who would have thought to check out that roof and maybe have some concerns over here? I bet they, even this one too. You'd think that all these buildings, the Secret Service would have people looking at it. But no, that's outside of the security perimeter of the Secret Service. Wow. That's what's a good word for that? Maybe unlikely. Holy shit. An American Spectator. Trump and the ultimate bull moose moment. So the other part, I'm surprised that when it was all done and Donald Trump got back up, he had the time to do his little fist shake. Oh, shoot, they don't have this one. I'll have to do an archive version of that. I thought I had it before. What the hell? Let's see here. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, you can't even do that. That's weird. American Spectator makes it almost impossible for you to get an archive version. Why did it work before and not now? Anyway, this is the picture that happened. This is in the Daily Caller. He gets up and puts his fist up saying he's okay. while this 5'5" Secret Service agent is doing nothing to cover his body like she's supposed to. Now, here's, by the way, there's conspiracy theories too, and believe me, they're hoping. But someone even brought up Russia on this one. Russian tactic aid to Dem megadonor reportedly suggests Trump rally shooting might have been staged. Now, this is a conspiracy theory that I do not adhere to, YouTube. Although you probably don't care much about this one because, you know how it goes. A top advisor to Democratic megadonor Reid Hoffman, he's the guy who's funding all the lawsuits, appeared to suggest in an email to various media outlets that the failed assassination attempt, I'm trying not to say it too often, on the former President Donald Trump may have been staged. Dmitry Melhorn sent an email to a group of sympathetic journalists at 7:34 p.m. on Saturday, encouraging them to consider the possibility that the shooting had been staged for the benefit of Trump. Hoffman has donated millions to pro-democratic political committees, funded lawsuits against conservatives, and joked about killing the former president the day before the failed assassination attempt. Let's see if they have a copy of the letter. They do not. Here it is. One quote possibility, which feels horrific and alien and absurd in America, but is quite common globally, this is in the letter, is that this shooting was encouraged and maybe even staged so Trump could get the photos and benefit from its backlash. Melhorn reportedly wrote members of the press, according to Semaphore. This is a classic Russian tactic. Oh my gosh, it's a Russian.
Your life makes me sad.
So this is possibly a staged Russian tactic of him getting a possible assassination attempt. Yes, it's a Russian tactic. He was almost killed, for fuck's sake. Yeah, well, and people were killed. Here's a good article in PJ Media on some of the sick reactions, the media reactions to the assassination attempt. New York Times actually published this headline. They couldn't even call it an assassination attempt. Trump hurt but safe after a shooting. Oh, just was this a random shooting in the New York Times? Was it just random after a shooting? But that's definitely not the worst headline there was. The CNN one was the worst. What was it? Something about the Secret Service. Let's see. Oh, here. Why wouldn't they call it what it was? It has been confirmed as an assassination attempt well before the printing. How could they justify calling it a shooting when Trump was indisputably the target of an assassin's bullet and that barely missed? The paper knew it too. Former President Trump was injured in a shooting just minutes into his rally on Saturday in Butler, PA, the article began, and what officials said they were investigating as an assassination attempt. No, they knew it was an assassination attempt. That's a stupid thing. In a separate article, which they did acknowledge that it was an assassination attempt, the headline seemingly blamed Trump for the incident by linking the assassination attempt to the Capitol riot, falsely accusing Trump of encouraging his supporters to riot. Oh, this is chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. Okay. Can I use this language? Because this is YouTube. Yes, I'm going to. I don't give a fuck. Hello, Cannibalistic Wizard, by the way. And Furry Kittens in the house. Nice to see you. And unacceptable views. All right. Avocados Diabli says, that is retarded. If you stage a shooting, you do not have them graze your head. You have them shoot you somewhere less likely to be lethal. Plus, you wouldn't kill people in the crowd. Well, Trump is evil, so he would do that. So there you go. And his shooter was an expert marksman. Here's another one. Mr. Trump has often been accused of fomenting violence, most notably on January 6, 2021, when he encouraged a throng of supporters to march in the Capitol where they ransacked the building. No, they didn't. They did mess up some offices, but they didn't ransack the building, not in any shape or form, in an attempt to stop Congress from ratifying Mr. Biden's election decree. CBS contributor Samantha Vinograd, the former Department of Homeland Security official during the Obama administration, because you know how they are. If you're a Democrat in government, you end up in the media so that you can perpetuate the new Democrats in office's narratives. She claimed the real concern is now retaliation from the right. Yes, Republicans pounce. There is an investigation into the security failures that resulted in this incident, and then the biggest threat that officials are telling me tonight is in the form of retaliatory violence, she claimed. No, the biggest threat was the poor man who was killed protecting his wife and children during the rally. You dumb. Okay, I'm not going to say that word out loud again. She added, we know that tensions were already high before this incident. Towards who? Certainly not towards Joseph Rahim Biden. He's a sympathetic old man with a poor memory. Nobody had their ire and daggers out for Joe Biden. But a lot of you assholes did for Donald Trump. Be honest. Bitch. Oh, I did say it out loud, didn't I? We know the tensions are already high before the incidents, and the counterterrorism officials and Homeland Security officials that I've spoken to in the last few hours are deeply concerned that this event will be used as a rallying cry to launch attacks against individuals associated with the Biden campaign and lead to broader domestic distress. Really? How about, why wouldn't you be concerned about copycats who might try this against Donald Trump again? Wouldn't that be a concern too? I don't hear that in that sentence. Where's that? I'm just curious. CBS's Robert Costa. Oh, here she is. Let's see how her tone.
And then the biggest threat that officials are telling me tonight is in the form of retaliatory violence.
No, really? Not copycat violence? Retaliatory violence.
That's you're taking me to exactly what I've been underscoring and is frankly very concerning in the rhetoric.
Oh, see, this event wasn't all that concerning, but the retaliatory potential is very, very concerning. There's, people dead, people injured, but no, your biggest concern now is how will they pounce? What the fuck is wrong with these people? This is crazy.
We are seeing at this hour already, we are seeing some Republican lawmakers come out with statements directly drawing a line between the shooter, whose name we do not know. We do not know if he's a lone actor or was somebody else, but drawing some connection
between the rhetoric of Democrats.
We have nothing to base that on at this hour.
Wait, what?
Hour, to the government. We have nothing to base that on at this hour.
To the government? Maybe just the Secret Service didn't fail their job at protecting the former president, maybe.
At this hour, leading officials within the U.S. government still don't know what transpired, and it is frankly unpatriotic at this moment to be stoking the...
Unpatriotic? Shut the... It's unpatriotic to what?
Flames, when we know that we are sitting on a cauldron of tensions. We know
you
that
are the
tensions were already high.
You're the one who's worried about
counterterrorism officials and Homeland Security officials that I've spoken to in the last few hours are deeply concerned that this event will be used as a rallying cry to launch attacks against individuals associated with the Biden campaign and lead to broader domestic distress. So right now, the goals are to investigate the incident, both the perpetrator and the security failures, as well as to try to tamp down any tensions that may arise coming out of it. Now, in this country, there is the First Amendment, and what we're seeing on Twitter, while
I'm glad you recognize that,
it's First Amendment protected activity, I will say again, is unpatriotic in the sense that we know that this kind of rhetoric has a nexus to violence.
Wow. Where did unpatriotic? I would venture to say that shooting a former president would be kind of unpatriotic. Don't you think? She dug out unpatriotic. Like in order to be a patriot, you can't be mad about this happening. This is amazing.
We saw that on January 6th. We saw that in the attack against Nancy Pelosi's husband. And
How about the congressional baseball team? How about Rand Paul? How about all the Republican presidents who've been assassinated in the past? Wow, you're so concerned about the reaction, not what happened. CBS Robert Costa even had the audacity to complain. Listen to this.
And it should be noted, many of Trump's supporters on social media tonight extremely angry. It's not going to reflect all of the verbatims of what we're seeing on social media from some of the Republicans around Trump. But to be clear,
really?
This is still a politically charged moment as much as it is a crime investigation in a secure.
Oh, my God. Some people who support this guy for president are angry. Oh, my. I am stunned. It's unbelievable. I just think your opinion is like.
I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care.
We don't care what you think. Holy shit. Thank you, AD, dropping a tray in the tip jar, who says, I think that one CBS lady is the reporter who I saw saying the scary part of Saturday was Trump getting up and saying, fight. The shooting death, those weren't scary, but him saying fight was terrifying. Yeah, it probably is. That's another one we heard. They were so worried about, the man just got shot at. There's dead people or a dead person and injured people from bullet wounds from an assassination attempt. And the worst part of it you saw was him getting up and saying fight. Yeah, and here it is. Here it is. Margaret Brennan also blamed Trump for.
And, Bob, in our conversation earlier when you were explaining to us what the former president said, to describe his injuries when he said he was hit by a bullet in his ear. I pointed out that he didn't call for his supporters to take a breath and step back. And the reason
when exactly was he supposed to do that? Because he hasn't talked to supporters yet, except for he thanked the Secret Service for protecting him. What?
Made that comment. It's not that it's without empathy or concern. I think we all have great concern
about you don't.
Our candidates, their health,
their
safety.
You don't give a shit. You're lying. You wish you had a bigger story to tell right now, and you didn't get it. You wanted a bigger story.
The concern about the heightened threat level, the fact that America...
The heightened threat level to who? How about, oh my gosh, that assassination attempt on the Republican frontrunner, could that inspire copycats to go after all of the Republicans or his supporters? Is that going to open the floodgate of attacks on them? Oh no, we're concerned about retaliation. You guys are nuts. You guys are freaking nuts.
Are on edge. Exactly what Congressman Kelly was saying in our phoner. He said, everyone take a breath, and that we have to be responsible for protecting.
Yes, when people on the right are attacked, you have to take a breath. You have to step back and calm everybody, which is fine if you gave a shit, but you don't. You're full of and I have no penchant for any type of violence toward this, but I know this could open the floodgates of violence against the Trump people and their supporters. Oh, someone tried it and he missed. Hey, who's that guy who's going to say, oh, maybe I should try and see if we can fix this? Because that person in my family who said, fuck, he missed. I really hope he didn't get a Secret Service visit. Not a smart thing to put on Facebook. Then here, NBC's Garrett Hakey. Listen to this.
His supporters, though, are using images like the ones we're seeing on the screen, including now both of his sons, pinning those images to their X accounts, the website formerly known as Twitter, pointing out the idea that their father, the Republican nominee in waiting, if you will, is a fighter, and kind of seizing on this moment to elevate him politically. And so we have the physical update here from the former president. Again, he claims that he was shot through the upper part of his right ear. By all accounts, will be just fine. The political reverberations, of course, entirely unpredictable at this moment, but already going on behind the scenes. The Trump campaign, as we've reported earlier in the evening, putting their staffers on lockdown, telling people not to talk to the press, not to talk at all while they figure out the steps at a more senior level they want to take going forward. And Lester, I'll just add, as I mentioned earlier in our broadcast tonight, that concerns about the former president's safety on the campaign trail have always been on the front burner at the senior level of the Trump campaign.
Okay, good. So anyway, all right, let's all right, I'm going to close down. Let me just give it through the list of the other articles that are here. You can go through them. Psaki told the GOP to change programming at convention to restore civility. I'm incredibly scared. So again, President of the United States, or former President of the United States, just got shot. And her biggest concern is, how's it going to affect me? What's going to do to me? Let's see if this is this the art one? I refreshed it. Let's see. That's just today's headline. Former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called on the Republican National Committee to overhaul its planned programming for the upcoming convention to avoid escalating the country's rhetoric following the failed assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump. So all that shit, how about you talk to your side and tell them to tone the fuck down? How about you start in the mirror, Jen, with your Hitler comparisons? How about you start in the mirror, Jen, with your the threat to democracy? How about you talk to your former boss? How about you guys tone it down? Because your side didn't get shot at. And you accuse the other side of being a threat to democracy. It could be the last election ever if this guy is elected. Kiss all of my ass. Daily Wire, gunman and the would-be dictator, Atlantic. The Atlantic is another publication, says that Trump had it coming. And this was less than 24 hours after the attempt. Now, did David Frum write this shit? Oh my God, yes he did. Less than 24 hours after the failed assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump, which left one bystander dead and 3 others, including Trump, injured, the Atlantic's David Frum blamed the violence on the former president and his supporters. Isn't he special? The gunman and the would-be dictator blared the headline, and on the off chance anyone missed the intended tone of the piece, a subhead followed, quote, "Violence stalks the president who has rejoiced in violence to others." Really? Isn't that, that's just special. Frum's present was that Trump was a fascist, and because fascism feasts on violence, the former president was simply getting a taste of that which he had fostered. Oh, he deserved it. Oh, what a fucking shitbag. Holy shit. National Pulse, Donald Jr. slams vile CNN for attacking his father's fight message after the assassination attempt. Steve Bannon said Trump wears an armor of God. Now, let's not go that far, Steve. He's just fortunate that the guy wasn't an expert shot. Probably didn't do enough clicks on his sites. Thank God he didn't. Trump Jr. slammed CNN after correspondent Jamie Gangel scolded his father for his rhetoric after he was shot on Saturday. "I don't want to say there was one thing that when I watched the tape I found odd because of all the heated rhetoric," she said, "and that is after he was hit, the former president got up and said, 'Fight, fight, fight.'" That's the one you were talking about. That was Jamie Gangel from This is CNN. Legal insurrection. Democrats and the media are going to try both sides of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. You know what I think is going to happen here? I don't want anything bad to happen to the Democrat nominee at all. But somehow something's going to go bad, and they're probably already planning this. And this is my only conspiracy theory that I would ever bring up this afternoon. That now someone is going to go after Biden, probably someone who wants him to drop out of the race, and it'll get blamed on Republicans. Just waiting for that one to drop, right? You think of that? Think that's going to happen? Holy shit. Unhinged Left is angry that Trump survived the assassination attempt. Yeah, all over the place. This shitbag.
Just got out of the movies, and for a split second, I thought Donald Trump had been assassinated. And I thought to myself, this is the best fucking day of my life. And then he wasn't. So it's the worst day of my life.
Okay, too late to take that down because they found it. Here's another one.
The message to whoever shot at Trump, you was a lame ass bitch, because how the fuck did you shoot and miss? No, bitch, if you have a mission, make sure you hit that target the fuck right. Bitch, you ain't practiced before you get your ass over there? Huh? You was nervous? Your hand was shaking? The message.
Who's this?
Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, but she doesn't have a lot to say.
Wow, Secret Service. You might want to look for this person. So it says, hey, just thinking about how the shooter missed his shot at Trump despite firing 8 rounds, made me think of the ones we couldn't have been something, but the timing wasn't right. Let's give it another shot. So, you know, what it does tell me, though, here's something interesting. So people always talking about these AR-15s, right? You know how the AR-15, most deadly weapons ever. And wow, after it hit his ear, it didn't disintegrate his whole head. And it's such a deadly weapon that this asshole shot 8 times and missed Donald Trump. So wow, I guess that those deadly AR-15s are just, you know, maybe they're not as good as they thought. Here's another dickhead.
How do you miss that? We don't miss those. Come on, man! Fuck! We don't miss those! One shot at greatness! To be mentioned in the history books! And you missed the shot? Fuck!
Now, I don't know if that's someone being serious or if they're just trying to be funny, but not too cool. Oh, and here, this lovely thing.
I think we forgot to mention when we were asking for, you know, someone to bring back assassinating presidents like they used to, we forgot to mention that they have to have good aim. Remember, genies are tricky that way.
Aren't you special? You're a special thing. Oh, this chick.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew. And he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a
wait a minute. Did she just say half of the problem being gone? She wants them both down? That's interesting. Thank you, AD. The absolutely best unhinged reaction to this was a white girl who went off and said, you know, a white man was attached to a big trigger since they missed. Oh, shit. I didn't see that one. Maybe it'll be in one of these.
John Wilkes Booth, if you can hear us, if you are with us, please, John Wilkes Booth, if you're listening, please.
Okay.
Let me get this straight, dumbass! You have a fully reloaded shotgun, but you chose to use a 1-bullet...
We're not even sending our best to fucking assassinate. Cause what the hell was that? Lee Harvey Oswald would never, bitch. John Wilkes Booth would never.
Today was like this close to being the best day ever.
Oh my God.
Also, the person that at Trump at his rally was exercising that right that all of those Republicans were fighting for. So, can you really blame him?
No, murder's not a right, honey. You dumb fucks. Anyway, so there's some of those douchebags. There's also Oh, by the way, New York Times columnist also wants Trump dead. John McWhorter. And this surprised me when I saw this. John McWhorter, who I have respect for some things, was kind of, he's saying, this is a quote, "I've taken a great deal of heat for saying and implying that I wish somebody would kill Donald Trump," McWhorter said on the new episode of The Glenn Show. And Brown University economics professor Glenn Lowry, with Brown University economics professor Glenn Lowry, who is on the right, "That is exactly what I was implying. It was irresponsible of me to say that in a public space. I really shouldn't have said it there." But then McWhorter acknowledges that it wasn't a one-off. "I've said it often," he admitted. Okay, so he's actually advocate for somebody actually doing that. There's also someone did a parody account of making this fake. And then here's a good article in the Federalist. "Do Democrats' corporate media have blood on their hands in the Trump attack?" Well, again, if you use the Democrats' model of stochastic terrorism, well, then they've been stoking the flames for a very long time. Claiming Trump was a Russian agent, claiming Trump called all Mexicans rapists, claiming that Trump is the next Hitler, claiming Trump is going to destroy democracy and make our country a dictatorship, claiming that Trump hates this person and that person, whatever. And so, you know, even Joe Biden here, Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans are a threat to the very soul of this country. Wow. Well, what can we do about that, Joe? What can we do about that? Henry Sisson, oh, this fucker. He's been hilarious the last 24 hours. "According to the Supreme Court, Biden can now send a SEAL Team 6 to take out all of them out. He could send the military to take out Trump. He has immunity for official acts now." Yeah, and someone in the Trump campaign said to him, you know, "You might want to expect a visit," meaning from the Secret Service. He didn't even know what that meant because he's stupid. Anyway, we're going to finish up today real quick. Thank you, Avocados Diablo, dropping another tray in the tip jar. Says, "Go back to the chick in the car, the blonde. It was her that said it." Oh, back in there. Where is that? This one right here. Let's see it. We'll watch this one again.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were
Is this her?
away! We
Just say in the regular chat.
Away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it!
Oh, she said that.
Away! Ah!
Now, that's interesting because they claim that it's the white men who are the ones doing all the mass shootings. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that a lot of them are white men, but that's terrible. All right. There's a couple other articles, and tomorrow we'll probably talk about Judge Eileen Cannon dismissing the documents case because of Jack Smith's illegal appointment to the special prosecutors. Also, we'll maybe catch up on Alex Baldwin's case too. There's some articles we can check out on that. Otherwise, I will be back my regular time. Hopefully I can keep this thing running for once. We'll see, but it ran for the rest of this show, so I appreciate that. And all of you who made it back, please, before you go, if you haven't hit that damn like button, you should do it now. And share the stream, both parts. And if you want to sponsor the show, there's no longer a PDogNight.live. There will be eventually, but in the description of this video, there are links to ways you can sponsor the show, including the Streamlabs link, which shows up in the chat every once in a while. Did it show up anymore? Did Johnny Boomertech start showing up on a regular basis here? Did he drop links in the chat? I might have to fix that. Maybe that hasn't been done yet. But thank you for joining me on the Morning Night Live. It has been a pleasure. I hope my outro works because it hasn't been working either. Thank you. Gotta go. My name is PDogNight, and I am out of here. Have a fantastic freaking day. Bye-bye. And it didn't work. Okay. P-Dog Night. And thanks for watching today on the P-Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Night, and I'm out of here.